Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I want to tell you a secret. If you can read my chicken scratch writing behind me, we're talking about the secret language of success. Ooh, or you might think of it as secret language of business even, okay? So, what could it be? I'll give you a second to think about it. You know, is it marketing stuff? Copywriting? Is it sales? I talk about sales a lot, right? Well, actually, something it's a bit basic, but when you understand what I'm about to tell you, you'll be able to go into any business and evaluate exactly why they're winning or why they're losing, and you'll be able to look at what you're doing, assuming a few things which I'll talk about, and determine why what you need to do basically to get to the level you want to be. Okay, revenue wise. So what is it? In case you're just tell me, just freaking tell me, Ben. No problem. The secret language is metrics. Okay. Gross. Metrics. Not very sexy. You know, KPIs. Data. Okay. So, when I say metrics, what are some examples of this? Okay, so what do most businesses need to grow? Right? What is the only thing you can do in your business that brings money in? It's sales, right? It's sales. And most people, and probably everyone who watches this video, if you sell a service or even a high ticket course or an expensive product, you're going to have to do it either in person or on the phone, right? So one of these metrics is calls, sales calls. Hopefully I'm not like shaking this thing like a Parkinson's guy. Anyway, calls, right? Closing percentages, that sort of thing is kind of common, but I'll tell you what we like to focus on in our programs. You know, kind of learned this from the guys over at Traffic and Funnels, but we kind of knew it. We just didn't have this terminology for it. And what they call it is, I'm not going to write it out because I'm just going to take away from the video at this point. But what they call it is leading indicators and lagging indicators. Okay, so these like your sales calls, the volume, how many calls you're getting, is what's known as a lagging indicator. Right? So everyone knows that calls equal money, right? The more you close, the more money you get. Everyone knows that. But what most people don't understand is, what do I got to do to get the calls? Right? And a lot of people, they get on the phone with me and they're like, hey man, what do I need to do to get more leads? Well, there's a lot of things. And what those guys over at Traffic Funnels would call it things you need to do would be leading indicators. Okay, so leading metrics, another way to think about it. So for example, there's a lot of different leading indicators you could use depending on where your niche is. If they're on LinkedIn, maybe your leading indicators is how many people you connect with and start a conversation with. If they're on Facebook, it could be how many friends you add, how many people you message, how much content you post, how many things like that. If it's just straight up how many calls are you doing per day, if you're doing cold or warm calls, as we teach them. If you're doing cold emails, that's another leading indicator. But for our guys, whenever they come to us and they're like, you know what, everything sucks, everything's going to shit, right? I'm not getting any sales calls, blah, blah, blah. We're like, okay, well, let's look at the numbers. How many calls are you making, or what are the leading indicators? What are you doing right now? And like, usually people will give you a story, right? Oh, like everything sucks right now. That's a story. And they're like, oh, I'm doing a lot, right? I'm doing a lot. And then you look at the actual numbers, and like, let's say you need to do, I'm just going to throw out an arbitrary number, but let's say you need to do 100 leading indicators per day, or like 100 I don't know, 100 emails, 100 calls, whatever, 100 messages. And then you look at their actual numbers and they're like at like 10 or 15. Like, okay, well, the numbers are showing that the KPIs would be 100, you're at like 10 to 20% of that. So that's a problem, right? You know, there's a lot of freedom. I'm trying to get this backlight in this damn video here. But there's a lot of freedom you can get when you understand this stuff, right? Because most business problems, at the end of the day, they can be deduced down to math, right? What is the math? You know, of course, there's like an actual like qualitative side to this, right? If you're getting a lot of calls but none are closing, well, at that point, you know, maybe we got to dive into why that is. Is it the fact that you're talking to the wrong people, or is it the fact that your offer sucks, or maybe your sales skills suck, or you're just scared, you're not confident in yourself, right? There's some other things that go into this, which are on the soft side, I guess, as far as, you know, these are hard numbers. Anyway, you get it, hopefully. But yeah, you know, understanding this is a big thing. Obviously, you know, if you get this, that's good. The next step would be understanding what are the actions I need to take in order to generate those calls. And if you're wondering that, great thing to do is just book a call with me, because to be honest, it depends on where your market is. And there are a lot of things you could do which you probably haven't even considered, right? So we have a million strategies for generating calls and leads and all that stuff, right? So if that's you, you can go to a link to book a call with me. It's scalemyagencycall.com. And yeah, hopefully you enjoy this. And if you like my painting here, you know, I'm not going to sell it to you or anything. Maybe I should. Anyway, I'm just rambling now. Talk to you guys soon, all right?